Good evening, Big Brother fans. It is Saturday, July 3rd, and I am not doing a Big Brother gossip show. And so I wanted to come on and talk about a couple of things. Normally, a year ago, in the last, I can't count the number of years, right as I speak to you right now, I would be sitting there talking with Scott and Colette about the new cast. But as I have already addressed, and I'm not going to rehash this here, I opted out of doing the Big Brother Gossip Show this year. And then Scott and Colette subsequently decided that they weren't going to do it as just the two of them. And so there is not one this year. Now, you may ask, then why are you doing a recording right now? Well, the answer is because I'm driving home from running some errands, and there's been some developments since yesterday, and I thought I would want to talk about them. So, as I've said on my BigBrotherGossip.com website, I'm not ducking out of Big Brother. This isn't like Big Brother Dish, who said, I'm done, and just shut down her site. Or this is not like Big Brother, was it Leak, or one of them that basically just shut down. I'm not shutting down. I'm not disappearing. I just really didn't feel I could do another season of the Big Brother Gossip podcast. And so I told Scott. So I'm still going to be active. And in some ways, I'm probably going to be more active than I had been. The podcast itself took a lot of time and a lot of energy out of all of us. And the fact that I'm not having to expend that energy, or just the energy thinking about it, stressing out about it, worrying about it, means that it's freed me up to do other things. But again, I have not watched all the cast interviews, I have not read all the cast bios. I have not been scouring the internet for bits and pieces. Trust me, as I watch things develop in the last 24 hours, there is so much material that we could have done a podcast about. There is so much out there on these house guests. There just really is. I mean, just the stuff that I've seen, it's like, wow. It's kind of crazy. There's all kinds of dirt and just stuff. Like Sarah, just today, people have tweeted out links to some of the stuff she's done. She's running in a totally different world than I am. and it's crazy. The stuff that I saw about Travis that's confusing about whether it was real or fake. It's fake, but it was like, oh man, some people aren't going to know that this is fake. So there's been a lot of stuff out there that we could have just, even though there haven't been interviews yet, even though we have not seen a single solitary interview, wow, there's a lot of material out there. You can learn a lot about every one of these people. I mean, I could have said, Frenchie? No, I didn't know Frenchie. Although apparently he tried to play sequester, or applied to play sequester. I searched my Twitter timeline. I had never messaged with Frenchie. He'd never messaged me. However, he did at me one time in a tweet he did. He's following me now. I don't know if he was following me before he went in the house, but I think he was. And he included me, when he was talking about something, he included me in one of his mentions. So, that's it. It wasn't a big thing. But I guess that means he's aware of the account Big Brother Gossip. But I don't know what that means. He's not going to give me a shout out for sure during the show. I would be shocked if that happened. Everybody else nobody else I could figure out followed me. Very few Twitter accounts that we could track down. There's only about 5 or 6, and some of them are very old. They all seem to have Instagram accounts, which again, I went on a little Instagram rant yesterday, I think, when the one video of them talking officially for Big Brother was only put out on CBS Big Brother's Instagram. And you have to know to touch the right place on their page to get to see the video, and I was just struggling and very frustrated. But okay, so I'm talking more about the cast than I meant to. The point is that there would have been a ton of material. There is a ton of material that we could have gone off on about the cast, but we're not doing it this year, and you know what? It's okay. It will be okay. I totally get that people are upset, that people are disappointed, and I've said this on this podcast, I think, several times, and I know that I've said it in other ways. I'm disappointed in some ways too. Trust me. I am. I'm going to miss interacting with you guys about this stuff. I really am. And so, but I had to do what was best for me mentally this year, and so that's what I did. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking about that right now and talk about the reason that I kind of thought to fire this up was today I tweeted out some information. At first I was going to piecemeal it. I was going to do a little bit today, a little bit tonight, and a little bit tomorrow. And then it kind of blew up a little bit in my vision. Not a huge blow up, guys, in my world of blow up. Just a little tiny, it looked like it was blowing up to me, but to everybody else, it was probably nothing major. But the way I overthink everything, it was starting to get out of hand. Not even out of hand. I don't know. I was concerned that somebody else was going to release the rest of the information. So I thought I had to get ahead of it and just throw it all out there. What happened is that I received information about the house. And as we don't have a house tour yet, I was like, well, I can share this, right? And, it's like, always have to be careful, always have to be thinking. You have to figure out, okay, who all has this information? Who all knows this information? Because I don't want to get any of my sources in trouble. I don't want to get them in trouble, so I don't want to say anything that only a very few select people would know. Then Big Brother, if they chose to, could zoom in on them and go, you talked to that account, and that's why they put out that information. So you take that into account as you're dealing with stuff like this. And so I'm like, well, lots of people honestly know what the Big Brother house looks like at this point, right? Lots and lots and lots of people. I mean, there's people that have been in there to photograph it. There's people that have been in there to videotape it. There are people that have been in there to talk about it. Then there's the whole crew. There's people that have come in to do work on it. Remember last year or the year before, the guy who did they redo the pool? The company that redid the pool put out a picture of it, and said, look at the work we did. It was like, oh my God, look, or I think, what was it? Oh, it just zipped in and out of my brain. There have been things that have been, the beans have been, spilled by companies. Oh, the pool for Celebrity Big Brother, I think that got outed too by the company. Or maybe they were just tweeting about it. I don't remember. But point is, you think about this stuff. There's a lot of people that know what the house looks like at this point. Even though, we haven't heard anything. That doesn't mean that they don't. There's not a lot of people know. They just aren't telling anybody. But I have a somewhat well-known Big Brother related account, and people have reached out to me and said, hey, I have the ability to know some of these things. And I've asked people. And so, point is, I was told some details about the Big Brother house, and I'm like, ooh, this would be good stuff. Can I share this? And I was told I could share it. So, mainly for the reason I just listed. There's a lot of people that have seen this already. I'm not really completely outing something. This isn't like, oh my gosh, nobody knew that. It's like, oh, nobody's told anybody about that because they're probably not supposed to. But who gives a damn? The people that I'm telling is still a very small select group. I would love to think that thousands or millions of people over the country are going to now know about the Big Brother, some of the changes to the house. But you know what? No. This is still going to be in the order of 1,000 people maybe. I know 100 at least, because I think 100 people have favorited the tweet or liked the tweet. That's what I know. Beyond that, I have no clue. All right, so I've beaten around the bush enough. Some of you probably only know me through whatever podcasting app you're using and don't follow me on Twitter at BB Gossip, or, you aren't a patron, because I told my patrons about this, at least most of it, earlier today too. I thought, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity to give my patrons a little tiny teaser, and so I did. That's very rare, by the way. That's the last time I told them something that nobody else knew and told them first was when I was going to be on sequester, and that has nothing to do with Big Brother, so these things are few and far between. But I did tell them. So, I initially this afternoon, maybe it was early in the afternoon or in the morning, I said that I'm hearing a rumor that there's been a design change there's a new design or a partial design in the backyard. In other words, there's something new about the backyard, design-wise. I thought that was vague enough, and that was fun enough to get people kind of talking about it and start thinking and speculating. And they were asking me questions. And then a certain account that has gained popularity, at least a limited popularity in the last couple of years, actually, quote, tweeted me. And also said that they were talking to someone that had knowledge of Big Brother today. And I thought, oh crap. If that person truly does have knowledge of Big Brother, they probably know what I'm talking about with the house, and they may share it with this other person who may then turn around and tweet it, and then it'll be like, oh crap, they gave away the information that I had. So I decided that I was just going to pull the trigger and share what I knew or what I'd been told, which is what I did. So, a couple of different things. And again, most of you have probably heard this and listening to this, but there are a few of you I'm sure that haven't. The backyard has an addition this year, and I'm not even being kind of vague, because the way it was explained to me was kind of vague, so I'm having to guess a little bit. But the point is, there appears to be I'm calling it a loft. What I'm picturing is a deck, an upper area, and some people were saying like a tree house. They have done this in other series of Big Brother. UK have had a little upper area. Now, I don't know if it's going to be enclosed or not, or if it's just like a sun deck. I don't know how it's going to work. I was told spiral staircase and an upper area kind of a thing. So I'm going to guess it's going to be almost like an additional. I don't know if it's going to be a room, if it's going to be covered, or if it's going to be open. I think if it was covered and enclosed, that would give them another place to talk in semi-privacy. If it's just going to be a deck that gets them a little bit higher, I'm not sure what that gets them other than a little bit more space, but it also gets them closer to where like wall yellers could hear wall yellers. So I'm not sure. But I think they realized they could go a little bit more vertical after using Will Kirby with his little thing last year. They know how to shoot the angles and stuff, that they could do something on multiple levels. So that was the main little news I had. The other thing was that apparently what I would call we've called it names in different ones. It's the room next to the bathroom. It's the little room next to the bathroom where people hang out. It's been used as an isolation room. It has been a workout room. There's been a sauna in there. There's been a photo booth in there. There's all kinds of things in that room that have been used for. But I do believe when the house was built in Big Brother 6 that it was a workout room where people could do exercise and stuff. I think it had a treadmill in there and maybe a bike. I'm not sure what it had in there. I don't quite remember. But whatever it had in there then, it's going to have some kind of exercise equipment in there. So that's the other tidbit. And that's all the tidbits I got. I just told you all of them. So now I have done this on Twitter, and I've done it on my podcast, my Spreaker, my whatever you're listening to this on. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad. It's going to be different. It's going to add some space. We'll have to see it and see how it actually plays into thing. It'll be interesting if they show that in the pictures of the house or not. I don't know. I don't know if they were going to make it a surprise or what. I'm not sure. Maybe I've just ruined the surprise for everybody. But I doubt it. We don't care. Do we that much? Is it really that much of a surprise? I haven't gotten oh my gosh, this is incredible reaction. So I don't think it was that big of a deal. And I got the yawns because it's, it's 9:20 at night, Eastern time. Anything else I want to talk about? Let's see. Big Brother Australia ended. I enjoyed the show. If you never saw it and want to earn us on how to watch it, you can at me on Twitter, or you can send me an email at ilovereality@gmail.com, and I will point your nose in the correct direction to where you can watch it online for free. And what else? I don't know. I mentioned, I got the yawns, guys. I mentioned Patreon earlier. So what Patreon is, those of you that, so forgive me, but those of you that don't know, Patreon is a way to become a patron of people, support creators as they are called. And technically, I am a creator because I'm creating this podcast and things like that. And a couple of years ago, some fans said, is there any way I can make a donation to you personally, to me, Mike? We already had one for the podcast for the Big Brother Gossip Show, but they wanted it just because of the other things I do, because of at the time I did Periscopes, now I'm doing YouTube Live, but because of that, because of my these CarCasts that we do, they're like, is there a way I can give you a little support? And I said, you know what? I guess I'll make up a Patreon. And I did. I made up a Patreon, and I don't remember what they maxed out at. I think I maxed out at, I may have had 20 patrons at one point, maybe 15. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm currently, actually I gained a couple today. I'm at 13, I believe, patrons. And Patreon is just a thing where you can set the amount you want to give. Some people charge per thing, like per episode. We charged on the Big Brother Gossip podcast, Big Brother Gossip Show podcast Patreon, we charged per show. So someone would pledge $1. I'm actually $1 pledged to my own Patreon for Big Brother Gossip Show. And so I would get billed $1 every time we did a podcast. And you can set it to whatever amount you want. People did varying amounts. You would hear us talk about executive producers and things like that. That had to do with the people that gave a lot more than $1, for sure. So I set up a Patreon account a couple of years ago for those people and had the patrons. And I have made a point to mention for those people who were donating to the Big Brother Gossip Show because of the stuff I did on it and want to continue to support me for the other stuff I do, you can go to patreon.com, patreon.com/BBGOSSIP. So BB Gossip. And that will bring you right to my Patreon page. You can sign up to be a patron there. You can sign up to be a $1 patron and pay $1 a month. I think that's the lowest you can go, is $1 a month. You can send up whatever amount you want, but you can do that if you'd like. If you did, I'd appreciate it. I would give you a shout out. I'm going to do a shout out right now, as a matter of fact. I'm sure they're not listening, but my sequester, and I'm basically telling you their full names without telling you their full names because I am kind of identifying them. But my sequester co-cast members from the season from May 5th, 2 of them decided today to become patrons of mine. I did not solicit them. They came to me. Actually, one of them came to me, and the other one just did it without even telling me. And so I thank them both. I've given shout-outs to everybody else, I think, but I'll probably do a group shout-out pretty soon to cover everybody once again. But just to do what I say, I am giving a shout-out to Jacob and to Brandon from the May 8th of 2020 mini sequester, or sequester mini. They have both become patrons of mine, and that is just too cool. I didn't expect it, but I appreciate it. I hope they hear this. Very cool. So that's out. That's done. I've talked about my Patreon. I've talked about the house guests a little bit. I've talked about the secret. I think I've done enough. I think I'm going to wrap this puppy up and go home and relax. Maybe watch a movie with my wife. I don't know. But I want you all to know, those of you that are listening to this and are like, I really miss the Big Brother Gossip Show. I miss it too. I miss talking to Scott and Colette. I really do. I miss interacting with the fans during the podcast. I miss all of that, and I wish I hadn't have felt the need to just kind of take a step away, but I did, and I hope you guys can respect me for that. And I hope I provide a decent amount of material for you. And again, make sure you follow Scott, keep following Colette, and see what their opinions are too. If you are so inclined. And by the way, unfollow me and follow just them if you're mad at me for deciding to take a step back. All right? There. I'm done. Have a good one, everybody. And thanks again. And those of you that sit around and listen to the commercials at the end, that's appreciated too, because that does generate a little bit of money for me as well. And every penny helps. Especially when I'm not doing the Big Brother Gossip Show anymore. And that was actually a nice little moneymaker compared to what, we got a little bit of chunk of change every month or every week for 14 weeks. So it's okay, though. I am not a starving artist. I will be okay. And, that's what it is. All right, I'm done talking now. I'm going to say goodbye. Have a good one. Adios. Have a happy 4th, everybody. I don't think I will be doing this for sure on the 4th. And I'm not sure if I will do a CarCast on Monday because I will be flying to Las Vegas on Monday. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see if I have the time. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.